What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Robbie Miles. I am with my buddy Jordan today, as usual. We're hanging out, and today we're talking used physical media. Buying used physical media, is that a yay or a nay from you guys? Are you in or are you out? And this coming on the heels of my trip to the archive yesterday, where if you guys are familiar with Vinegar Syndrome, it is like their flagship brick and mortar store, and they specialize in used physical media, every format, anything you could possibly imagine. They have there. So, Jordan, have you been to the archive?
I haven't actually. So there was one like not by me, but like probably 7 hours from me in Aurora, Colorado. I don't know if they still have one. I know I think they still have one. I think they were like remodeling it or something. But I actually had a buddy that went on a Colorado trip, and I watched his dogs for him, and he swung by there and grabbed me some stuff for doing that. So he got to experience it. I didn't. I want to someday though. It's a dream of mine. So I hope I get to.
Was it it was an actual archive?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. They had. I think they still have one in Aurora. I think it's Aurora, Colorado that it's in. It's kind of by Denver a little bit, but yeah, he grabbed me Blood Cult and the Ripper from DeGasser video.
Hell yeah. It's funny is I was watching a movie earlier today, and I was looking at what to watch, and I picked up Blood Cult. I still got to watch that.
That's a good one, dude. It's a fun SOV film. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched it yet, but now that I know you liked it, so I'll make sure to check it out. But anyway, so I went to the archive yesterday and I picked up a bunch of tapes. If you guys have been following along, I have officially begun my VHS journey, and Jordan's been helping me out with that and helped me get, started with that whole thing because it can be very overwhelming. There's a lot going on in the world of VHS, and I'm the kind of person that will just hit the ground running, and as Jordan knows, I've kind of been doing that. So a lot more videos to come on VHS. But today we're talking about used physical media and whether that is a yay or nay for you, whether you are in or out. So right off the bat, Jordan, are you in or out on used physical media?
I'm in for sure. I think it's a good way to find some deals and get stuff for cheaper. I mean, versus buying new, especially with the prices of stuff nowadays.
Dude, that's an excellent point. Like, yep. I was thinking back to when I first got into physical media, and I think I started probably about like 7 or 8 years ago. So I think around like maybe early 2017 is when I really got serious about collecting physical media. And I was thinking about that, when earlier in my collecting days, that was kind of more when I would go to like the used outlets and go to eBay and stuff, which we're gonna get to because eBay is a very interesting thing. But now, like, the prices are so crazy on things that, like, it's almost like if you wait, the prices do get jacked up, but it's not by like as much as it used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
So, I think things like a 4K now, like a standard 4K might be $50. Right. Yep. And you miss it, and then it might go, it might have to be out of print, and you might go for $70, right? Which is not ideal. But it's not, I remember the days where things were like marked up like triple the price easily,
Yeah, I mean, it can depend too. Like, just like on watching on eBay, I always check like Scream Factory and titles like that. And I know, I mean, I've been wanting to upgrade like my Howling to the 4K and like my They Live and stuff. And some of those sold for like $20 earlier, and I guarantee you that those people bought those for like $35 brand new. So I mean, sometimes it's just worth waiting,
Yeah, for sure. I think especially when it comes to VHS, because there's so many common tape that are sold everywhere. I feel like there's so much out there, at least in my short journey so far.
Definitely.
But you've been collecting for a long time, and do you like still find yourself buying used physical media? And
all
like,
the time.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, dude, all the time. I mean, like I said, I love going to like half price books and Goodwill, and like there's a local place about 30 minutes from me called Ben's Game Zone. All of his prices are really good. But yeah, I always buy used stuff. And the good thing I like about going in person and finding used stuff is you can actually like pull out the tape or the disc and see if there's mold on the tape or if there's scratches on the disc. You get to feel the case, see if there's wear on the case. I mean, sometimes those eBay listings can be deceiving,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I agree. It's like it's really nice, like to go to a convention or to go to like the archive or like a half price books, and actually, having the release in person, and you can kind of see what's nice about the used thing is like you could pick it up right in person and see like, all right, maybe this thing is hiked up a little bit, but at least I know I'm getting like what I'm getting,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
it might be dinged here and there, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I know like people get like bamboozled on eBay, right? Sometimes, and I know people
Oh
get
yeah.
scammed, and people just put stuff up there. They don't read the fine print. I was just today. I listed something on eBay for the first time in many many years, but I have a lot of movies that I like have doubles of, and
Yeah.
I listed them on eBay for a certain price, and I made sure to put in the comments that some of these are region locked, right? Because I don't want someone buying them if they
Yep.
don't have a region free player.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, especially with VHS, especially because like some people who like aren't really into VHS, if they're selling a VHS on eBay, they might not know like what mold is in a VHS or what it looks like. So I mean,
Like
it's
me, like someone like me,
yeah,
because I don't know what that
yeah.
is. What is mold on a VHS?
So if you look inside of like where the film is, some VHS is really bad. There'll be like a yellow, white, like fluffiness, like on the reel or on like the inside of like the plastic cover. That's mold. And sometimes you can clean it. I don't know how to do it. I've got a buddy that knows how to clean it really well, but usually if there's mold on it, it's a no-go for me. But
Interesting. So that's good to
yeah,
know. I,
yeah,
I like I told you, I picked up some stuff third
yeah.
party in the past couple of days. I did some trades, and I did not check for mold on
Yeah.
anything. So we'll see
It's
what
it
happens.
I've I mean, it's more of a rare thing in my opinion. I mean, like at Goodwill, for instance, a couple weeks ago, I found Stephen King's It on
Nice.
VHS, and I really wanted it, and I looked at it, and it was caked in mold. The reel was so bad, and I was like, "Man, that sucks." Like,
Yeah, it's
so,
brutal.
but I don't run into it very often, but it does happen, and there are ways of cleaning it too. So,
I gotta look into that just in
yeah,
case.
yeah, for sure.
So anyway, is there like anything you can remember? Because I would imagine, just like again, I was much more into buying used when I first started, simply because there were some things that I missed out on, right? And
Yeah,
if I had waited, I think it would have been fine in the long run. I think it would have been okay. But I did end up buying some stuff when I first got into physical media collecting that I missed out on, that was out of print, and I overspent. But there were things that were like I really wanted to have in my collection, and so are there things that you have in your collection that you may have overpaid for? You bought used, you bought third party, just something that and again, this could have been something maybe when you first started, but like it was something that you just had to have.
a ton of them, dude. Like I was
Same.
just looking through like my like previously bought items on eBay, and I think I've got history like all the way back to 2017, and like looking at some of the prices I paid for some of these Blu-rays is just outrageous to think about. Like
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember, like for instance, the Ghoulies 1 and 2 Blu-ray from Scream Factory. I don't remember that being worth $60. Maybe it is, but I paid $60 for that, and that seems like a lot of money for that.
Dude,
It probably is that
I'm like
now,
I'm
but
so scared to look back at my eBay history, like, and especially through the pandemic. Like, all right, don't even get me started. But what's so interesting about that time period? Again, I think we started collecting maybe at like a similar time. If you were collecting, 2017. But what's so interesting about that period is that 4K wasn't really a thing, right? So
yep,
like
no,
we were not expecting like upgrades of these movies. It was like these are going to be the definitive editions. So most notably, right, like the thing I probably splurged the most, and I got a pretty good deal on this to be honest with you at the time. But I have the Halloween Scream Factory box set. Now this was I think a 2014 release or 2013 release, whatever it was.
yep,
And I missed out on it, unfortunately. And so it came after I really got serious about collecting, and I ended up getting it. I want to say like 220 maybe, which was, to be
yeah.
honest with you, like great.
I mean that's a great price for that.
Yeah.
And actually, going back to like finding deals, I have a funny story about that set. So I actually missed out on that set as well, and I found it at a half price books, and I actually
Fuck half
found
price books,
mine.
man. I want in on
Yeah,
that so
dude,
badly.
it was crazy. When I saw it, I freaked out, and I actually found it for $140 there, which was crazy. And this was in like probably 2017, 2018.
Dude, I just
And
gotta come like hit. I just gotta like take like a week trip out there and like
you do,
like
dude. It's
hit all
awesome.
the half price books.
But yeah, dude, I remember posting that set in like my Facebook group with like the $140 price tag on it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you found that, dude. That's sick."
Yeah, so I'm jealous you found it at half price books, and I would imagine like that's probably pretty close to what this like went for, right? I don't know the
Oh yeah,
price,
I
but
mean, yeah, I would assume so. I don't know either, but I mean, I also didn't mind paying. I mean, like I wouldn't even mind paying $220 or whatever for that set. It's
yeah,
amazing.
and I can't don't quote me on that. I think might be giving myself a little more credit than I should be getting. It may have been like three. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah,
I remember like thinking I have to have this and doing my due diligence and looking a lot and be like, this seems like the best set. And it was sealed when I got it. Now what I will say again, back to the 4K thing, right? So this set was out, and I was just starting my collection journey. I mean, this was the definitive way to own these movies, right? And no, there's no doubt about it. You have all the Blu-rays in here, including the zombies. This is pre 2018, so you didn't have the 2018 trilogy in there. So every Halloween movie, you had the bomb ass black cases, right? Which I love. I
I
think it
love
looks
those.
so much better than a Blu-ray case.
100%.
And also, like for someone who's new into collecting, like understanding that like getting into the labels and finding out which labels you like more, and seeing Scream Factory do this kind of stuff, special editions with the box set packaging. And to me, it's like, okay, this is something I need. I have to have in my collection. This is going to be the definitive release of this movie. Not knowing any better at the time, like there was going to be an upgrade later or yada yada. And to be honest with you, like if there was another edition that came out, if someone else was able to license the movie or whatever, getting all of them together like that's probably not going to happen. Like that was a really like a
Yeah,
very special one-time deal.
definitely.
So in my head, I'm like, I just need to get this, shell out whatever amount of money I need to. I would have paid whatever I needed to get that set. Can you like get down with that?
Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
So I bought it with zero remorse in my mind at all, and not realizing that here we are 10 years later, and you can own the movies on 4K. So I think back, like I'm so happy I have this set because as a collector and somewhat of a Halloween completionist, I am glad I own it.
That's one that I can't get rid of, regardless of like owning the 4Ks. It's just it has so much history in the physical media world. It'll never go anywhere.
I agree. I do wish the box was a little, Scream Factory boxes don't last great for me. If you can see the bottom is
Yeah,
like thinning out a little bit. It's really just the bottom, nowhere else. But it is what it is.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I cherish this box set. There are a couple others too that like when I first got into collecting that I just kind of had to have. One of them is the House collection. This is the overseas version.
yep,
Um, and because I love the House movies growing up, I watched them with my dad, and this was like the definitive with the companion and all that. Now I can happily say we're not getting any new House movies, right? So this is most likely going to be the definitive edition, and this to me falls in that line of like Critters, like they're putting out that new Critters box set, and I really want it, but I already have a set, so I was like, you know what, I don't need to go back. And it's same thing with
yeah,
this. Like I have what I feel is like the definitive edition. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and that Critters box set isn't even 4K, right?
No, it's not. Right.
Yeah, that would have been a deciding factor for me because I love those movies enough to like upgrade that to 4K. But yeah, I mean that Scream Factory set. I mean, it satisfies me. So
For sure. So that
yeah,
was another one. And the last one, I mean, I can go through my shelves and like probably find a million others. But the other one for me was the Society Arrow set.
God,
Do you have this edition?
no, that's one that I'm probably gonna end up buying used and spending some money on
So
because I
this
want that.
I probably overspent on this more than any other title. I think I paid
Yeah,
like maybe $90 for this.
really.
Yeah, I think it was like something like 90, just because I adore this movie.
Yeah,
And I
that movie's
really,
awesome.
really, really um love Society, and like I just thought this was such a unique box set. and so I had to have it. I had the standard edition, but I wanted to upgrade, and if they do a 4K of this, I'll have to reconsider. But at the
I
time, I was
know
like, you know
that.
what, this is the definitive edition. This is the one I'm going with. That's
Yeah,
all. You know what I mean?
I know. And my luck, I'm gonna buy one, and they're gonna do a 4K of it. So I've been trying to hold off on it, but I love that set.
Same, dude, same. So anyway, was there anything else you have like you can off the top of your head like you can think of that you pay overpriced for, or you paid more than you should have used on eBay, whatever?
Yeah, dude, like the Scream Factory Texas Chainsaw Massacre Blu-ray edition. I think I paid $70 for that on eBay. And the thing with me too is when I was first getting into Scream Factory stuff, I was a slipcover guy. Like I couldn't like I would find the movie at my local Suncoast Video without the slipcase, and I would be like, dang, there's a slipcase of this. So I gotta find this somewhere else. And yeah, I know I overpaid on that one probably. Sleepaway Camp 1. I think I paid like $70 for that with the slipcover. And actually that one's gone down in price since then quite a bit. But those ones
With the slip?
yeah, with the slip, I'm pretty sure that one's gone down in price. I saw
Wow.
one selling for pretty good price on eBay the other day. But yeah, those are what I can think off the top of my head that I've overpaid for. But I don't think
I
I've
do,
ever.
I do, I am with you on that. I picked up the 3 sleepaway camps as well, but I didn't need the slip on those. I got them standard. I think I might have
Yeah,
actually gotten them straight from Scream Factory. If I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, like they were still in stock when I got them. I think.
Yeah, I don't have 2 and 3 either, which I need to get because I haven't seen those, and I've heard that the second one's really good, and the third one's good enough to own and watch. So I need to check those out.
Yeah, they're all fun. The first one is by far the best, not even
Oh
close.
yeah,
Two
for
and
sure.
three are like pure slasher, like zero
Yeah,
substance. And when I say zero, I mean zero substance,
yeah,
stilly, but so much fun. Like I love 2 and 3, but like you're when you get them, they're gonna be rewatchables because of just they're rewatchable because they're so mindless. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. I've heard that the second one has some really good kills, like
They're all
compared to the
in
first
both of them.
one.
They have great kills.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, I will say that like finding stuff out in the wild versus eBay, I don't think I've ever overpaid when I've found something out in the wild, like at Goodwill or Half Price Books or like Ben's Game Zone, like I was talking about. I don't think I've ever overpaid for anything that way.
Word. All right. So just a couple things here. All right. So those are some great pickups from back in the day. Do things like condition matter to you? Because when you're thinking about like some of these used things, right? These used piece of physical media, oftentimes they're not new. Sometimes they are, right? Because I
Yeah.
think my Halloween set was new when I got it, but a lot of times it's not new. Is that something that bothers you? Like if you picked it up, if it was dinged, would you prefer to get it for a cheaper price? Or are you like the kind of guy where it's like, I'd rather shell out the cash and get a pristine set because that's just the way you roll.
Yeah, honestly, it depends on the title for me. I mean, if it's something that I really, really love, I'm obviously gonna want it to be in really good condition. But like for instance, I love Nightbreed so much, like from Clive Barker. I was at Half Price Books this weekend, actually, just checking it out. They had I have the Blu-ray set. They had the 4K set of Nightbreed, but it was missing the 2 Blu-ray discs in it. And I'm like, man, like I have the Blu-ray, but like I really want that set to just be complete. So I didn't, and it was only like 20-25 bucks, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hold off on it and try to
So
get
wait,
the
so sorry.
complete
So it
one.
was it was the Nightbreed Blu-ray set,
It was the 4K
the
set, but
4K.
it
I'm
was
sorry.
missing the Blu-rays, like
Right,
like
right,
two
right.
two discs
So
in
that's the
it.
kind of thing that I'm 100% with you on.
Yeah,
Like, if it's an incomplete set, fuck that shit. I don't want
yeah,
like that's not cool to me. Like
yeah. I mean, if there's like a minor ding to where like you know how sometimes those sets will have like a bent corner, kind of like pushed in or something like that. That doesn't really bother me. Like if I'm finding it in the wild used, I'll usually pick it up. And like same thing with VHS for instance. I'm a little more lenient on that because those are so old that like it's hard to find something that you really love in a pristine condition like that. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
and
where
I'm
I sit
finding
on
that
that.
like some people even value on VHS specifically. Some people even value like the wear and tear on it, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
not that they want it to be like destroyed, but like you had said, some of the stickers are like hold special meaning to people.
Yeah, dude. Or it's kind of like that. Like I showed you, I found that Blair Witch VHS at Goodwill the other
So
day,
jealous,
and the
man.
box
So
wasn't in the
jealous.
greatest condition, but there was a Blockbuster sticker on the back, kind of like all scratched up, and it kind of just adds to the charm of it, you know?
That specifically, like a blockbuster sticker specifically, is like bomb ass shit.
Yeah.
Like that. That's fucking cool. I'm also like dude, I need to move. Where are you exactly?
I'm about 30 minutes to the west of Omaha,
Okay.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I'm like right in the middle of the country,
Dude,
pretty
like
much.
that's like half price books, like prime time right there.
Yeah, dude, that and they have them all over too. Like I don't know if they have them on the East Coast, but
They
they have
don't
a lot of them.
none within like I don't know 7 hours of me.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible. And like not only that, but like we have like Goodwill, we have some like used stores in places, but like they suck, dude. New York, New
Yeah.
Jersey is a terrible place for
Well,
like used physical media.
I'm sure too that I mean, you have a lot bigger population out there too. So
Right?
like when shit goes into those places, it probably goes out a lot quicker because there's a lot more people
Yeah.
like shopping for that stuff, you know? Like around me, I mean, I'm in like a rural area, you could say. So the population of people looking for that kind of stuff is a lot smaller than out there.
I was at I'm in Astoria, Queens, in New York City, and they did this Saw DVD back in the day. It was like a clear box, and I actually had a few of them when I was growing up. I had in my collection, but they did like for Saw, like it was like Saw 4 or something. It was like a big box edition with like a trap inside. I forget what it was. It was super cool, and they had it there, and I was like, I should I get it, but the top was like ripped. I was like, it's still a cool piece. I don't know what they were charged about. Should I get it? Should I not get it? I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait and come back later tonight because I'm going to be walking past. And I waited and I came back later that night. It was already gone. So, like,
Oh yeah.
in an area like me, that shit goes, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so condition, it really depends. I'm with you on that. It really depends, and I think that I am a stickler about those things, but not to the extent that like I'm not gonna pay unless it's like a piece I really cherish. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
overpay for it, you know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more of a stickler too, like with condition on eBay versus in person. If the eBay seller is not letting me know about the condition that it's in, or
Totally.
like or if I get something and they didn't let me know that something was wrong with it, then I'm a little bit more of a stickler because it's like, were you not looking at this, dude? Like,
Yeah. What about
yeah,
collections? Like, have you picked up any collections? Because, like I told you, like VHS is brand new for me, so I
yeah,
like have gone a little overboard from the start. That's just how I roll. Like, I picked up, I picked up. I think it was like, I think I showed you it was like 33 movies. I think
mhm,
paid like 42 after shipping. So
yeah,
some great tapes in there, and like all horror shit. So to me, that was like a no brainer. And he had it on originally like 50, and I talked him down to like 32 or whatever. So
yeah,
I was paying less than a little more than $1 a movie. I think a little less than $2 a movie. And like
yeah,
for me, that's a no brainer, you know.
yeah, for sure, dude.
So there were a couple like titles that didn't look great, like in amazing condition, but like for things like that, I'm just I'm not paying for anything crazy, you know. So like I'm good with the condition. So what are your thoughts on like buying collections like that?
I mean, I'm totally into it. I haven't really ever done it. I've found like collections that someone like for instance at Half Price Books, I found a collection that someone had just sold in there, and I probably bought every single tape there because it was just like heavy hitters. Like I found like Friday the 13th Part 6, 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I found like there's like these old horror movie like special effects documentaries on VHS, and I just bought a bunch of tapes there.
Mm,
And I've had like collections given to me before, but I haven't really purchased any. Like I said, I showed you that Elvira collection I'm looking at that I'm like strongly debating right now on
do
eBay.
it.
So I might dive into that. Those
Oh
tapes
yeah.
are pretty expensive, but it's something that I've wanted for a really long time.
The other thing is, like I told you, I picked up that Freddy set.
Yep.
And something like that, like the honest truth about a set like that, for those of you that don't know, I picked up the Freddy is like 1 through 6 and New Nightmare, whatever it is. The VHS collection box set. It's pretty dinged up, but it didn't look terrible. But I paid like 70, I think, for it, and that set clean new is gonna be like $200. Like if
Yeah.
someone has it clean on their hand, they know what they have, right? Like
Yeah.
so that kind of a thing, like you're just gonna have to pay a lot more for it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So for that specifically, I didn't overpay. I thought it was pretty fair what I paid, and
Yeah, definitely.
like I'm good with that. I think New Nightmare was actually still sealed, but the box was pretty dinged up, maybe a little faded. But again, like we're talking a set that's probably 40 years old.
Yeah, I know. That's how I look at it too. And like you can get stuff like VHS is cool because I mean you can get a really pristine tape for a lot more, or you can get like a kind of dinged up, beat up tape that still was in good condition that you don't really care, and that's like cheap.
For sure. All right, so a couple more things. I know we're trying to keep today a little shorter. So a couple more things on this topic. So first and foremost, is there like a format, not just I know we've been talking a lot about VHS lately. That's kind of my thing. But is there a format that you prefer to buy used, like whether it's 4K or VHS or DVD or Blu-ray? Is there something? Was there one that you prefer to buy used?
It could go either way for me, honestly. I mean, it's nice when you find a 4K used for a lot cheaper than it would be new. So I would say I would prefer that format probably because of how expensive like a new 4K release is versus a used one sometimes. You can find a good deal. Um, like for instance, I've been looking at like I like pretty much every night before bed on eBay, I just scroll through like Scream Factory Arrow videos, stuff like that, and like just check it out. Got to make sure I'm not missing anything like for a crazy price. And I look at Second Sight stuff, and like I've seen that Second Sight release of The Hitcher 4K. Like I've seen that sell for $40 now that it's
Are you
used.
serious?
Someone's already
That big
selling it.
chunky boy?
Yeah.
God damn.
So like you just gotta watch for it. Sometimes you get lucky.
You do, man, and there will be things that I will like on Mercari, for example. Like, do you ever dip
That's
into like
another
Mercari or
site.
like what's up?
I said that's another good used like eBay like site that
It's
I
great. I
like to
love
use.
Mercari, and
Yeah.
I constantly see things that have been sold for prices like it's not available at the moment, but like I'll type in like I don't know, like Phenomena 4K, whatever, like, and I'll look back and be like, this shit sold for like $25, and it's
Yeah.
like I didn't get that deal, but I see that those deals are out there.
Yeah.
And that makes me like click, 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 click. And then every once in a while, I will find a good deal. Like that set of 35 whatever VHS tapes, I thought it was a great deal. And the dude like just wanted to get rid of it. He's like, "Here, bro, take it. It's all you."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. There are definitely deals to be had.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not wrong, but sometimes people don't know what they have, you know? I mean, if someone posts
Let
something
me
for super
pounce,
cheap
bro. Let me fucking pounce.
I mean, yeah, if someone's gonna post something super cheap on eBay, but I'm like, if someone's posting something like in a Facebook group or something, like I mean, I'm not gonna try to take advantage of them, but on eBay, like if they're posting something for super cheap, like I'm gonna snatch that shit up, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you. But and by the way, I think I told you, but that dude was on that claim sale on Facebook Addicts, VHS Addicts. He posted that Primal Rage pretty clean VHS, and he wanted 15 for it. And so I claimed, but I was like literally 30 seconds late. And said
Yeah,
when I put it in, someone had just claimed before me, and I was really bummed about that because I love that movie, Primal Rage.
yeah, I
And
know.
the cover art is really sweet, so I thought it was a pretty cool buy. The other thing about VHS, and I'll get into my last question for today, but the other thing that's cool about VHS is that like $15 is pretty pricey for a tape. Like you
Yeah,
can get a sick tape for $15.
yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like a great display piece, a great title. Like the 4K of Primal Rage is like $40. So you can, whether you plan on watching it or whether you want to just catalog it $15 is not gonna make or break your bank. Now I know there are like higher end editions, but like that movie is whatever amount of years old. You know, it was like I think 90 or 91 or maybe 89. It was very. It's an old movie, but you can get a movie like that for cheap and have a great cataloged part of your collection. You know. So anyway, a lot of good stuff in this conversation. We're talking used physical media and whether we feel you should buy used, you shouldn't buy used. Are you in or out? So Jordan, if you were, I know we were talking that we were much bigger into buying used earlier, yet here we are
Yeah.
scouring Mercari and eBay every day still.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah.
I know when we first got into collecting, it was definitely I definitely looked for things more. Now I'm kind of scouring not for specific items. Now I'm just kind of like browsing because if a deal comes up, I want it. Back then it was
Mhm.
more so like I have an item in mind that I must have. I'm searching it in the eBay search bar, watching 10 of them, and the best deal I find, I'm gonna take.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
even when I started collecting, if I was looking at Suncoast Video or like another place by me that closed down called Hastings, if I was looking through the movie section and there was Night of the Demons and there was Night of the Demons used, I would almost always grab the used one if it was in good condition. I mean, because it's cheaper and it's in working condition, especially when you buy from a store. If it doesn't work, they're gonna honor you and refund you. You
For
know.
sure. So is there any advice you would give to someone that's like maybe new to physical media, or any advice you would give someone for buying used movies? Maybe there's someone that has a decent collection, but like they tend to buy more used or they tend to go to eBay more, which is fine, guys. We're not here to tell anyone what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Just an open, honest conversation about used physical media because I do think it is a great thing, not just a an overpriced thing. Don't go to eBay. A lot of people say don't go to eBay, but like at times eBay can be a great resource. Am I wrong in that?
No, it's a great resource and it's definitely better than it used to be because now on eBay they have a lot better like buyer protection. So usually if you buy something on eBay and you're not happy with it or it comes in damaged or they send you the wrong thing or lie about a listing, they're going to side with the buyer almost every time. So
Totally.
I yeah, there's I mean, and then not even just eBay, but I would say some good advice too is like if you have Facebook, join some Facebook groups because you can find people trying to offload collections, whether it's for like needing to pay a bill or like needing some extra money or they don't want it anymore. You can find some cheap collections and get a good start to a collection. So
So anyway, listen, this topic is like massive. We just broached the surface on today's topic. This is something I want to go into more, because I think there's so much here, and I think that Jordan and I both kind of like we're on board with buying used, right? That's something that him and I both I think have done quite a bit with our current collections. We'll continue to do, and I think it's a topic that we want to hit on again. Maybe we'll bring on a guest next time, but this was an awesome, honest conversation about used physical media. So we appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, guys. Jordan and I are just interested to hear your thoughts on buying used physical media. Do you guys find yourself doing it more? Like, do you prefer that almost over going to like an overseas company? Maybe the shipping's too expensive or whatever the case might be. So hit us up in the comments. Even with maybe some things you guys got online, you got some great deals. We want to hear about your great deals. And we appreciate you guys hanging out. So go follow us on Instagram. I'll link our socials below, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.